Welcome to a tantalizing journey into the culinary curiosities of the 1980s. In this video, we're diving into a nostalgic exploration of the most infamous foods from a decade that gave us some truly memorable, though not always appetizing, dishes. If you've ever wondered why certain 80s food trends never quite made it to the top of anyone's favorites list, you're in for a real treat. We're uncovering the top 20 worst foods of the 1980s, the dishes that left taste buds puzzled and plates barely touched. From bizarre flavor combinations to over-the-top processed creations, the 1980s were a time of culinary experimentation that didn't always hit the mark. Remember those odd dishes that seemed like a good idea at the time, but left many wondering what on earth was going on in the kitchen? We're here to relive those moments, dissecting what went wrong with these infamous food fads and why they've become the stuff of culinary legend, just not the kind anyone wants to recreate. Join us as we take a critical and humorous look back at these Epicurean missteps. Whether you're a foodie with a taste for the odd and unusual, or just curious about the quirky side of food history, this video is packed with fun facts, behind-the-scenes stories, and a hefty dose of nostalgia. We'll reveal the secrets behind these culinary disasters and explore why some foods are best left in the past. Don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and make sure you're ready for a delightful trip down memory lane. Buckle up for a fascinating and entertaining ride through the 1980s food scene and discover why these 20 worst foods are best left forgotten. Let's dive into the culinary quirks of the 80s and find out what made these dishes the epic fails of their time. Number 1. Sloppy Joes in high school cafeterias. In the 1980s, sloppy joes were a staple in high school cafeterias, but they rarely excited students. This dish, made of ground meat smothered in a tomato-based sauce and served on a bun, often missed the mark. The meat quality was frequently questionable, with a texture that left much to be desired, sometimes resembling more of a mystery substance than actual beef. The sauce didn't fare any better, often being overly sweet or bland and rarely achieving the right balance of flavors. The unappealing appearance of the sloppy joe didn't help its case. The bun often turned soggy under the weight of the filling, leading to a messy, unappetizing presentation. Despite efforts to improve the recipe, the sloppy joe remained a low point for many students' lunches. Other options like pizza and sandwiches were preferred, solidifying the sloppy joe's reputation as one of the least enjoyable foods of the decade. Even nostalgia can't redeem this dish from its status as a cafeteria letdown. Number 2. Oreo Big Stuff. The Oreo Big Stuff hit the snack scene in the 1980s with the promise of a supersized twist on the classic Oreo cookie. At first, the idea of a colossal cookie seemed exciting, but the reality quickly fell short. These oversized treats turned out to be more of a hassle than a delight. Their massive size made them unwieldy and difficult to handle, leading to a messy and impractical snacking experience. Despite their promise of delivering more of the beloved Oreo flavor, the logistical challenges of eating such a large cookie quickly outweighed the enjoyment. Consumers soon found themselves struggling with the sheer bulk of the Oreo Big Stuff, which made enjoying the cookie a cumbersome affair. The novelty of the giant Oreo wore off rapidly, and the product faded into obscurity after a short-lived presence in the market. This experiment in supersizing serves as a reminder that bigger isn't always better, especially with beloved classics like the Oreo. The 1980s were a time of bold snack innovations, but not all attempts to reinvent popular treats were successful. The brief era of the Oreo Big Stuff highlights the challenges of scaling up favorite snacks, and it mirrors the period's broader pursuit of novelty and convenience in the world of snacking. Number 3. Dr. Pepper Gum. Dr. Pepper gum emerged in the 1980s as an inventive effort to bring the distinctive flavor of the popular soda into a chewable form. Featuring a liquid center meant to replicate the unique taste of Dr. Pepper, The gum aimed to offer a novel snacking experience. Despite the creative concept, the gum struggled to capture and maintain consumer interest. Many who tried Dr. Pepper gum found the flavor disappointingly fleeting. The bold, spicy notes that characterized the soda quickly dissipated after just a few chews, leaving a lackluster aftertaste. Moreover, some consumers felt that the gum failed to truly capture the essence of Dr. Pepper, leading to a sense of dissatisfaction with the product. The initial excitement surrounding the novelty of soda-flavored gum wore off rapidly, and the Dr. Pepper gum soon faded into obscurity. While the idea of transforming a beloved soda into a gum flavor was intriguing, the execution fell short of expectations. The brief popularity of Dr. Pepper gum underscores the difficulty of translating iconic drink flavors into other formats, revealing the challenges of maintaining flavor integrity and consumer satisfaction. Number 4. High C Ecto Cooler. High C Ecto. Cooler made a splash in the 1980s by capitalizing on the Ghostbusters craze, with the vibrant green drink marketed as a must-have for fans of the beloved franchise. Tied to the popularity of the Ghostbusters animated series, Ecto Cooler was designed to capture the imagination of children and nostalgic adults alike. However, despite its eye-catching packaging and clever marketing, the drink fell short in terms of taste. Ecto Cooler was often criticized for its overwhelming sweetness, which many found to be excessively artificial and cloying. The drink's vibrant green color and Ghostbusters branding may have intrigued consumers, but the actual flavor left much to be desired. The emphasis on the product's connection to the popular franchise seemed to overshadow the quality of the beverage itself, leading to disappointment among those who hoped for a more enjoyable and refreshing drink. Ultimately, Ecto Cooler became known more for its flashy marketing and less for its taste, securing its spot among the less memorable food and beverage products of the era. The drink's lackluster flavor and heavy-handed sweetness make it a nostalgic relic that few would eagerly welcome back to store shelves. Number 5. The McDLT. In the 1980s, McDonald's introduced the McDLT with the goal of enhancing the burger experience by keeping its ingredients fresh and hot. The McDLT featured a unique design where the burger's hot beef patty and cool lettuce and tomato were kept separate by a two-part container. This packaging innovation was intended to preserve the crispness of the vegetables while maintaining the warmth of the meat until the moment of consumption. Despite its inventive approach, the McDLT faced a slew of criticisms. The most significant issue was its elaborate packaging, which led to excessive waste and environmental concerns. The need for two separate compartments meant that the McDLT contributed more to landfill waste compared to more traditional burger wrappers. In addition to environmental issues, the McDLT did not entirely live up to its promise in terms of taste and quality. Many customers felt that the burger lacked the flavor and texture expected from McDonald's offerings. The separation of ingredients, while innovative, did not necessarily translate into a better eating experience. The burger often fell short of the standards set by other items on the McDonald's menu. The complexity of the McDLT's packaging also made it less convenient than standard burgers, further dampening its appeal. As a result, the McDLT became a symbol of flawed innovation and environmental oversight. It ultimately earned its place among the 1980s food failures, a reminder of how ambitious ideas sometimes miss the mark and become relics of a bygone era. From the excessive packaging of the McDLT to the infamous reformulation of New Coke, the 1980s saw numerous attempts to innovate and redefine classic products. These endeavors reflect the era's hunger for novelty and experimentation, highlighting both the risks and rewards of pushing boundaries in consumer products. Number 6. New Coke. In 1985, Coca-Cola embarked on a daring venture with the launch of New Coke, aiming to refresh its iconic brand and drive up sales. The company reformulated its flagship product, introducing a version with a noticeably sweeter taste. Despite the extensive market research and taste tests that led up to this decision, the outcome was far from what Coca-Cola had hoped. The reaction from the public was swift and intense. Longtime fans of the original Coca-Cola were outraged by the change, with many finding the new formula's sweetness to be overpowering and unpleasant. The backlash was so severe that it sparked widespread protests and boycotts as loyal consumers demanded the return of the classic flavor they had grown up with and cherished. Coca-Cola quickly realized their mistake in the face of this massive consumer outcry. The company responded to the public's demands by reintroducing the original formula under the new name Coca-Cola Classic. This decision marked a significant pivot in the company's strategy and underscored the profound connection people have with established brands and their flavors. New Coke's brief, untroubled run on the market became a powerful lesson in brand management and consumer loyalty. The attempt to innovate backfired, and the product became a symbol of corporate missteps and the risks associated with altering beloved products. Despite its good intentions, New Coke remains a prominent example of how even well-researched changes can falter when they deviate too far from what consumers hold dear. Number 7. Sizzlian. Sizzlian was introduced as a revolutionary alternative for health-conscious consumers looking to enjoy bacon without the associated fat and calories. Marketed as a turkey-based product, Sizzlian aimed to offer a leaner, lower-fat version of bacon while still delivering a similar taste experience. Its appeal was rooted in the promise of a healthier option without sacrificing the enjoyment of a crispy breakfast staple. However, despite its health-oriented marketing, Sizzlian struggled to win over the hearts and taste buds of bacon lovers. The product's flavor and texture fell short of expectations, leaving many consumers underwhelmed. While Sizzlian was designed to replicate the crispy, savory qualities of traditional bacon, it failed to deliver on those fronts. The texture was often described as chewy and less satisfying compared to the beloved crunch of real bacon. The flavor, too, was criticized for being bland and lacking the rich, smoky essence that makes bacon so irresistible. Efforts to position Sizzlian as a healthier alternative were ultimately overshadowed by its inability to match the taste and texture of traditional bacon. The product's shortcomings meant that it struggled to compete in the marketplace, where the classic bacon remained the preferred choice for many households. Despite its innovative approach to a healthier diet, Sizzlian was relegated to the realm of forgotten food products. Its legacy serves as a reminder that while the concept of a healthier bacon substitute was appealing, it was the execution that ultimately led to its downfall. Number 8. AYDS Diet Candy. AYDS Diet Candy emerged in the 1980s as a seemingly innovative solution for weight loss, promising consumers a sweet treat that could help suppress their appetite. Marketed as a convenient way to curb hunger without sacrificing flavor, AYDS aimed to attract those looking to shed pounds while still indulging in a candy-like experience. However, the product faced significant challenges from the outset. Despite its intended benefits, AYDS Diet Candy struggled with poor taste, leading many consumers to find it unappealing and ultimately avoiding repeat purchases. The candy's flavor was often described as bland or unpleasant, undermining its potential as a desirable snack for those on a diet. However, the product's most significant obstacle was its name, AYDS. At the time of its release, the term AIDS was becoming widely associated with the global epidemic of acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. This unfortunate similarity led to a catastrophic impact on the product's sales and public perception. The name association with the serious and highly publicized disease caused widespread discomfort and rejection of the product. Despite attempts to rebrand and distance itself from the negative connotations, AYDS Diet Candy could not overcome the damage done to its reputation. The public's aversion to the name overshadowed any potential benefits of the candy, leading to a sharp decline in sales and ultimately the product's disappearance from the market. The demise of AYDS diet candy serves as a powerful reminder of the crucial role branding plays in the success of a product. A poorly chosen name can have devastating effects, especially when it intersects with sensitive public issues. In the end, AYDS diet candy became a cautionary tale about the importance of careful consideration in marketing and the potential consequences of failing to align branding with public sentiment. As we reflect on AYDS diet candy's fall from grace, it's also worth considering other products from the 1980s, such as Steakum, that attempted to cater to evolving consumer needs. The decade was marked by a variety of food innovations aimed at improving convenience and meeting new dietary trends. From the ill-fated AYDS diet candy to the more practical Steakum, these products illustrate the shifting attitudes toward health, convenience, and taste during that era. So if you're hungry for a quick and easy steak sandwich, remember, keep Steakum frozen until you're ready to eat, then simply cook them up in a frying pan. In just 60 seconds, you'll have a hot, satisfying meal ready to enjoy. Number 9. Steak. Steak made its debut in the 1980s as a promising solution for quick and convenient meals, presenting consumers with thinly sliced frozen steak that could be prepared in a flash. Marketed as a time-saving alternative for busy households, Steak aimed to deliver the essence of steak without the traditional hassle of preparation. The idea was to offer a quick and easy way to enjoy a steak sandwich or a beefy meal without needing to fire up the grill or spend hours in the kitchen. Despite its appeal to those seeking convenience, Steak faced significant criticism once it hit the market. While the product was designed to simplify meal prep, many consumers were disappointed by its lackluster flavor and occasionally chewy texture. Unlike the tender, juicy steak that one might expect from a high-quality cut, Steak often fell short in delivering the rich, satisfying taste associated with traditional steak. Its flavor was frequently described as bland and its texture as less than ideal, failing to replicate the savory experience of a freshly cooked steak. The product's shortcomings were particularly notable when compared to the fresh steak experience. For many, the convenience of Steak did not outweigh the importance of taste and texture. While it was embraced by some for its ease of use, others found it to be an unsatisfactory substitute for the real thing. The initial promise of a quick steak option was overshadowed by the reality of a product that did not meet the expectations of discerning palates. In the end, Steak convenience could not compensate for its deficiencies in flavor and texture. Despite its popularity among some consumers, the product's inability to deliver on taste and quality cemented its status as one of the less favorable food innovations of the 1980s. As a result, Steak remains a reminder of how even the most well-intentioned convenience foods can fall short when they do not meet the fundamental expectations of flavor and quality. Number 10. Lean cuisine. Lean cuisine emerged in the 1980s as a beacon for those looking to enjoy convenient, low-calorie frozen meals without compromising on taste. Marketed as a healthier alternative to traditional frozen dinners, the brand aimed to offer portion-controlled meals that catered to calorie-conscious consumers. The promise was straightforward: a satisfying meal that was both nutritious and convenient. However, despite its health-conscious appeal, early iterations of lean cuisine fell short of expectations. Many consumers found that these meals, while designed to be lower in calories, often lacked the robust flavors and satisfying textures one might hope for. The dishes were frequently criticized for being bland and uninspiring, leaving many diners feeling disappointed after their meals. The textures of the foods did not always deliver the comfort and satisfaction associated with a hearty meal, further detracting from the overall experience. The brand made efforts to improve its recipes and enhance flavors over the years, but lean cuisine struggled with a persistent reputation for mediocrity. Despite changes and updates, the meals often failed to capture the taste and satisfaction that customers desired. Lean cuisine's quest to balance health and flavor was a challenging one, and while it succeeded in offering a convenient option for those watching their calories, it did not fully deliver on the promise of enjoyable dining experiences. As lean cuisine continues to be a staple in the frozen food aisle, it remains a symbol of the difficulties faced when trying to blend convenience with quality. The brand's legacy is a testament to the challenges of creating healthy meals that don't sacrifice taste, and it underscores the ongoing struggle to meet the diverse demands of modern consumers. Number 11. Bagel Bites. Bagel Bites burst onto the snack scene in the 1980s, quickly winning over households with their promise of combining the beloved flavors of pizza with the convenience of bite-sized bagels. Marketed as a perfect snack for kids and busy adults alike, these mini treats offered an easy and quick solution for those craving a pizza-like experience without the hassle of preparation. Despite their initial popularity, Bagel Bites faced a series of criticisms. One of the main challenges was achieving the perfect cooking texture. The mini bagels often struggled to maintain a consistent quality, with some batches turning out too hard or conversely too soggy. This inconsistency made for a hit or miss snack experience, leaving some consumers frustrated with the results. Additionally, while bagel bites were designed to mimic the taste of pizza, many found their flavors to be underwhelming compared to a traditional slice. The combination of toppings on the small bagels sometimes failed to deliver the robust, savory taste one might expect from a full-sized pizza, resulting in a snack that was enjoyable but not necessarily satisfying. Despite these drawbacks, Bagel Bites managed to maintain their place as a popular snack throughout the 1980s, thanks to their convenience and novelty. They became a staple in many households, particularly for families looking for quick meal solutions or fun snacks for kids. However, their limitations in taste and texture meant they never quite achieved the same level of culinary acclaim as other snack options. Number 12. Crystal Pepsi. Crystal Pepsi emerged in the early 1990s as a bold innovation in the beverage world. Introduced in 1992, this clear cola aimed to offer consumers a visually distinctive alternative to traditional sodas. Marketed as a groundbreaking product, Crystal Pepsi promised a fresh twist on the classic Pepsi flavor, boasting a transparent appearance that was meant to signal purity and a unique drinking experience. Despite its intriguing concept, Crystal Pepsi struggled to maintain consumer interest. Many found that the taste of Crystal Pepsi was remarkably similar to regular Pepsi, which led to a sense of disappointment and confusion. Consumers expected a significant difference in flavor to match the product's unconventional look, but instead they encountered a familiar taste that didn't justify the novelty. Additionally, the clear appearance of the soda led some to question its authenticity, with the transparent liquid creating a perception of unnatural ingredients or a lack of true cola flavor. The novelty of Crystal Pepsi quickly wore off as it failed to distinguish itself from the original Pepsi in a meaningful way. The product's lack of a compelling taste difference, combined with a growing skepticism about its clear formulation, led to its decline in popularity. By the mid-1990s, Crystal Pepsi was discontinued, leaving behind a brief but memorable chapter in the history of soft drinks. The story of Crystal Pepsi highlights the challenges of innovation in the food and beverage industry. While the idea of a clear cola was certainly inventive, the execution fell short of consumer expectations. As a result, Crystal Pepsi remains a symbol of how even the most creative concepts can struggle to make a lasting impact if they don't deliver on their promises. Number 13. Fruit Wrinkles. Fruit Wrinkles made its debut as a fruit snack with a health-conscious angle, aiming to provide a more natural alternative to traditional sugary treats. Marketed as a healthier option, Fruit Wrinkles boasted a simple ingredient list and the promise of real fruit flavors, hoping to attract consumers looking for a wholesome snack. Despite its appealing, health-oriented branding, Fruit Wrinkles struggled to win over the taste buds of many consumers. The snack's texture was frequently described as unusual and off-putting, with some likening it to chewy rubber rather than the soft, enjoyable consistency one would expect from a fruit-based treat. This unappealing texture detracted significantly from the overall eating experience. Furthermore, the flavors of Fruit Wrinkles were often criticized for their lack of vibrancy and authenticity. Many consumers found the taste to be underwhelming and artificial, falling short of delivering the rich, fresh fruit flavor they had hoped for. The snack's inability to live up to its promise of real fruit flavor contributed to its failure to gain a strong foothold in the market. Despite the initial buzz surrounding its health benefits, Fruit Wrinkles could not compete with other, more popular snack options that offered both taste and texture satisfaction. Its strange texture and disappointing flavors ultimately led to its relegation to the list of worst foods, leaving it as a forgotten chapter in the pursuit of healthier snacking alternatives. The failure of Fruit Wrinkles underscores the challenges of combining health claims with palatable taste and texture, demonstrating that even well-intentioned snacks can fall short if they fail to deliver on both fronts. Number 14. Carnation Breakfast Bars. Carnation breakfast bars were introduced as a solution for busy consumers seeking a quick and nutritious breakfast. Marketed as a convenient option, these bars aimed to deliver essential nutrients in a portable format, making them an appealing choice for those on the go. However, despite their health-conscious branding, Carnation breakfast bars faced significant criticism from many consumers. One of the most common complaints was their dry and crumbly texture, which often made the bars difficult to enjoy without a beverage to wash them down. This texture issue detracted from the overall eating experience, making the bars less pleasant to consume. In addition to their problematic texture, the bars were frequently described as having an artificial taste. Many consumers found that the flavor lacked the natural richness and satisfaction of real ingredients, further diminishing their appeal. Despite efforts to refine the recipe and improve both taste and texture, Carnation breakfast bars struggled to achieve widespread popularity. While they succeeded in offering a convenient breakfast option, they fell short in providing a satisfying culinary experience. Their lackluster flavor and undesirable texture ultimately led them to be categorized among the worst foods of the era. The failure of Carnation breakfast bars highlights the challenge of balancing convenience with quality, underscoring that even well-intentioned products can falter if they do not deliver a compelling taste and texture. Number 15. Banquet Boiling Bags. Banquet boiling bags were introduced as a time-saving meal solution for busy households, promising the ultimate convenience. Just boil the bag and serve. This approach aimed to simplify meal preparation and cater to consumers seeking quick and effortless dining options. However, despite their promise of ease, banquet boiling bags faced considerable criticism for their disappointing quality. A major issue was the soggy texture that resulted from boiling the entire meal together in the bag. This cooking method often led to vegetables and proteins becoming overcooked and mushy, stripping them of the distinct textures and flavors typically found in freshly prepared dishes. The flavors of banquet boiling bags also fell short of expectations. Many consumers found the taste experience to be bland and unappealing, with flavors that seemed to meld together rather than complement each other. This lack of flavor distinction contributed to a dining experience that many found underwhelming and unsatisfying. Despite efforts to provide a convenient meal solution, banquet boiling bags failed to deliver on their promise of a satisfying and enjoyable dining experience. The soggy textures and unremarkable flavors ultimately earned them a spot among the worst foods of the 1980s. While they offered convenience, they did not meet the quality and flavor standards that consumers sought, leading to their decline in popularity and a place in the annals of forgotten food products. Number 16. Bubble Yum Soda. Bubble Yum Soda emerged in the early 1990s as an ambitious attempt to transform the beloved flavor of bubble yum gum into a refreshing beverage. Marketed as a nostalgic treat, this soda aimed to capture the essence of the chewy, fruity gum in a liquid form, offering a unique twist for fans of the classic candy. Despite its intriguing concept, Bubble Yum Soda struggled to make a lasting impression on consumers. The beverage's taste was often described as odd or unappealing, with many finding it difficult to reconcile the soda's carbonation with the familiar sweetness of the bubble yum gum. The result was a discordant flavor experience that failed to live up to the candy's reputation. Critics noted that the combination of bubbles and sugary sweetness did not blend harmoniously, leading to a taste that was neither refreshing nor satisfying. Attempts to capitalize on the gum's popularity could not overcome the fundamental issues with the soda's flavor profile. Ultimately, Bubble Yum Soda's inability to deliver a satisfying drinking experience relegated it to the realm of failed food innovations. Its failure to capture the essence of the iconic gum and its lackluster reception in the beverage market cemented its place among the worst foods of the era. While it represented a novel idea, Bubble Yum Soda fell short of providing the enjoyable and nostalgic experience it aimed to achieve. Number 17. Hubba Bubba Soda. Hubba Bubba Soda emerged with a bold vision to convert the popular Hubba Bubba gum flavor into a fizzy, refreshing drink. This soda aimed to capture the essence of the chewy, fruity gum in liquid form, hoping to offer a nostalgic and novel beverage experience. However, despite its innovative concept, Hubba Bubba Soda struggled to make a significant impact on the market. Many consumers found the soda's flavor to be disappointing, as it failed to replicate the satisfying taste of Hubba Bubba gum effectively. The attempt to translate the gum's unique bubblegum flavor into a carbonated drink resulted in a taste that some described as overly artificial and cloying. The combination of carbonation with the sugary bubblegum flavor seemed to clash, creating a beverage experience that many found less enjoyable than anticipated. Despite efforts to leverage the popularity of Hubba Bubba gum, the soda did not resonate with consumers. It faced a similar fate to Bubble Yum Soda, failing to carve out a niche in the competitive beverage market. Hubba Bubba Soda's inability to deliver on the promise of a satisfying and authentic bubblegum flavor left it languishing among the worst foods of the era. While the idea was creative, the execution fell short, and the soda did not achieve the refreshing and enjoyable experience it aimed to provide. After the disappointing reception of Hubba Bubba Soda, another product, Jello Pudding Pops, entered the scene, aiming to capitalize on popular flavors and formats of the time. So what were the main reasons behind Jello Pudding Pop's lack of success in meeting consumers' expectations? Let's explore how this frozen treat fared and why it struggled to become a lasting favorite. Jello Pudding Pops, frozen pudding on a stick. Number 18. Pudding Pops. Pudding Pops, once a nostalgic treat for many, were beloved for their promise of creamy indulgence and convenience. However, the reality for some consumers fell short of their expectations. While the idea of frozen pudding on a stick seemed delightful and innovative, the execution often left something to be desired. One of the main criticisms of pudding pops was their texture. Intended to deliver a creamy, smooth experience similar to that of freshly made pudding, these frozen treats sometimes ended up being icier than expected. The cold temperature caused some to become more crystalline and less creamy, detracting from the indulgent mouthfeel that was anticipated. In addition to textural issues, the flavor of pudding pops was frequently critiqued. Despite their attempt to replicate the rich taste of traditional pudding, many found the flavor to be somewhat artificial. The promise of a rich, creamy dessert fell short, leaving some consumers disappointed with a taste that lacked the depth and authenticity of real pudding. Despite their nostalgic charm and the positive memories they evoke for some, pudding pops struggled to meet the high expectations of a luxurious frozen treat. Their shortcomings in both texture and flavor have relegated them to the ranks of less favored desserts. Although they held a special place in the hearts of some, the reality of pudding pops did not quite match the ideal of a creamy, satisfying indulgence. Number 19. Premio Italian Sausage Patties. Premio Italian sausage patties entered the market as a convenient alternative for those craving Italian flavors without the fuss of traditional preparation. While they offered a quick solution for busy meals, they didn't win universal acclaim. One major critique was their greasy texture. Many consumers found the patties to be excessively oily and heavy, which detracted from their appeal. The texture often overshadowed the taste, making the sausages less enjoyable to eat. Flavor-wise, Premio Italian sausage patties also faced criticism. Despite their attempt to deliver authentic Italian taste, many critics felt the flavor was artificial and lacked the rich homemade quality typically associated with traditional Italian sausage. The seasoning and spices seemed off, failing to capture the true essence of Italian cuisine. Though designed for convenience, the combination of a greasy texture and an artificial flavor led Premio Italian sausage patties to fall short of expectations. While they provided an easy option for a quick meal, they ultimately earned a spot among the less favored foods of the 1980s. Number 20. Chef Boyardee. Anything Chef Boyardee products were a staple in many households during the 1980s, known for their convenience and affordability. These canned meals promised quick, ready-to-eat options for busy families. However, despite their widespread availability, Chef Boyardee's offerings often drew criticism for their lackluster quality. A frequent complaint was the mushy texture of the pasta. Many consumers found the pasta to be unappetizing, with a consistency that seemed overcooked and limp. This textural issue was a major drawback for those looking for a satisfying meal. Additionally, the sauces in Chef Boyardee products were often criticized for their overly sweet taste and tinny flavor. Lacking the depth and richness of homemade sauces, they fell short of delivering the robust flavors that many consumers craved. Despite their role in providing a quick and easy meal solution, the mushy pasta and artificial tasting sauces led Chef Boyardee products to be viewed unfavorably. While these meals may hold nostalgic value for some, many would prefer to leave them in the past and seek fresher, more flavorful alternatives. And that wraps up our look at the 20 worst foods from the 1980s. We hope you enjoyed this nostalgic journey through some of the most memorable and forgettable culinary creations of the decade. A huge thank you to all of you for tuning in and making this trip down memory lane so much fun. Your support and enthusiasm mean the world to us. We also want to extend our gratitude to everyone who contributed their insights and shared their own 1980s food stories. Your experiences and feedback helped bring this video to life and added that extra touch of authenticity. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future content. We love hearing from you, so drop a comment below with your favorite or least favorite 80s food memories. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time for more fun and foodie adventures. Until then, stay hungry for more nostalgia and keep those taste buds ready for our next culinary exploration.